Hello everyone and welcome back to Always Watching. Today we're discussing the PBS documentary, One Person, One Vote. Briefly, this is an incredibly informative documentary about the American political system. The documentary interviews a number of scholars, experts, and essentially walks us through the complexities of this system, specifically its Electoral College. America is very unique in that the person that gets the most votes doesn't necessarily win. Instead, they vote for a slate of electorates who are pledged to a specific candidate. And the documentary does its best, and I think quite successfully, to explain what an electorate is and who these people are, how they get the job, by literally following around a group of electorates from all over the country and exploring their motivations. I think the documentary did a good job of giving historical context while also explaining its real-world implications. And it did it in kind of like a fun and engaging way. Like, it takes a lot of creative liberties, which I definitely appreciated. What makes this documentary particularly unique is that not only does it focus on the Electoral College, but it focuses on the electorates in particular by literally following them around, specifically during the lead up to the Trump-Biden election. I did enjoy listening to their personal stories. I was quite taken aback by how they varied, like each electorate in terms of age, sex, orientations. Like, they came from all walks of life and they all came to politics for completely different reasons. Some electorates are very involved in the process. They're very dedicated to their candidates, while others, such as the electorate pledged for Kanye West, was just looking for clout and fame. Like, I just thought it was hilarious because a lot of these candidates are not only being documented, but they're being asked to document themselves. So the things they're saying and the revelations they're having, I felt were really honest. I think the idea of focusing on the electorates in particular that pledged their allegiance to these candidates was fascinating because it allows viewers to not only better understand how the political system works, but look for weaknesses and areas in which it could improve. Now, of course, the most famous criticism of the Electoral College is when Al Gore lost. He was a rare popular vote loser, if you remember that sad era in history where he got the most votes, but he lost the Electoral College. Actually, through this documentary, I came to discover that electorates can actually vote against the candidate they're pledged to. And although a lot of states have mechanisms in place to ensure that these things do not happen, and even if they do, they wouldn't really affect the results, symbolically, it definitely does matter, especially as the political climate is getting more decisive and more combative. I think we're slowly starting to see the disintegration of this two-party system, and how that affects the Electoral College is something the documentary will have you thinking about. I think the way the documentary maps out the history of the Electoral College and also the changing face of America, it really does highlight and it really invites audiences to have a conversation about what changes could be made, specifically to ensure that every vote counts. And I think this documentary was eye-opening because we take for granted our right to vote. Again, a lot of countries don't really have this right, and historically people were used to monarchs and dictatorships, and America is very unique in that it prides itself on its democracy. And the reason for that is how much power the average person has in shaping the political system, and this power, if not checked, can definitely be diluted and challenged, and definitely not in the right ways. This is a documentary definitely worth checking out. Like, it's a great recommendation for family and friends who don't really understand how the political system works, especially considering we're going into an election. Like, this is like a refresher course, and it was really educational, but it was really fun and entertaining to watch. And I appreciated how it simplified the process and tried to, again, explain it to us in terms of like the real world and how this actually works on the ground, and allows viewers to kind of make their own conclusions about what changes could be made or what problems could occur in the future. So overall, I was pretty impressed. You guys let me know what you think, and until next time.